Forge Gang! I'm still a hard man. So, in 1971, Richard Nixon took the American dollar off of the gold standard. And in 1974, a deal was made with the Arabs, the Saudis specifically, and other Middle Eastern countries to, they would only trade or do sales in gas, in petrol for the dollar, or just in the dollar only. And if you ever do read Carol C. Quigley's The Anglo-American Establishment, which was written around the same time, it brings this up and mentions this, and this is going to be the very reason for the decline of the American petrodollar, because last year in 2024, the Saudis joined the BRICS, and they got off of the dollar standard, meaning that the US dollar was no longer the sole backing currency that the BRICS countries will be using. And what you will see in the near future is a continuation of these various developing countries, so-called developing countries, leaving the dollar, getting off of the dollar, and it would not surprise me if the Europeans also likewise get off the dollar. What this indicates, or what this signals, is the end of the dominance by the dollar and its gradual usurpation by a cryptocurrency. In the coming decade, with Agenda 2030 and the Great Reset, you will see a process in which hard currency is replaced by cryptocurrency and by alternative types of currencies, as most of the global economy leaves support from the IMF and from the US dollar, and the fall and decline of the petrodollar. For many decades, at least since the Second World War under Bretton Woods, the American dollar was the single dominant currency of the globe, and it was the one thing that really packed and backed up the Pax Americana. The Pax Americana is now in full retreat. Donald Trump and his administration is going to destroy people's confidence in the dollar and in American dominance, and America is gradually going to abandon its role as the defender of the so-called free world, and more countries are going to get off the dollar as the main standard, and the fall of the dollar will solidify the decline and demise of the United States as the major superpower of the world. And so this started when Richard Nixon got the dollar off the gold standard. That is when rent increased exponentially. That is when the housing and mortgage rates rose substantially. And the debt ceiling of the federal government is currently $36 trillion. The American government is $36 trillion in debt. So yeah, you're going to see the demise of the dollar and hard currency in general, and its replacement with cryptocurrency as people begin moving into smart cities, 15-minute cities, dominated by the mercantile class, and the gradual increasing Orwellianization of this society. So anyways, that's really all I had to say. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, this is the demise of the American dollar as the single world currency and its replacement with crypto. This is what the elites want to do. This is what George Soros wants. Another thing, too, the No Kings protest, or the No Kings protest, is just backed by millionaires and billionaires like George Soros and others who are trying to push for the West Coast States to succeed and leave the Union, and they want to create a international police force to invade through the western states into the rest of the United States and turn it into a occupied, divided zone of division. Has national countries, or nationalism is replaced by international organizations, international units, and you will gradually see the so-called national sovereignty replaced by more continental, multinational systems that dominate and run the world, as the Pax Americana is replaced with more inebriated globalism. Anyways, yeah, that's all I had to really say.